Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Poundland founder Keith Smith left his £38 million fortune, including a stunning manor house, to his family when he died of lung cancer, only for his wife to pass away 2 months later. The 79-year-old, who launched the Poundland empire in 1990, lived in the 9-bed Ludstone Hall with his wife Maureen, which is now up for sale for £8 million. Mr. Smith died of lung cancer 2 years ago after a short battle with cancer. He left his estate in trust to his wife Maureen, as well as discretionary benefits to his son Steve, siblings Mandy and Sean, and charities. But sadly, his wife died just 2 months later. The refurbished Jacobean mansion in Claverley, Shropshire has its own swimming pool and even features a museum dedicated to the budget chain. Mr. Smith's son Steve and his siblings are now selling his late father's beloved home for £7.75 million. Keith Smith, who grew up in nearby Willenhall, left school at 16 to become an apprentice draftsman before going on to run a market stall and the Hootie's cash carry in Willenhall, Walsall. Mr. Smith launched the discount chain in 1990 with his son Steve, and together they grew the enterprise to over 70 stores before selling it for £50 million in 2002. He bought Ludstone Hall in 1997 with his Poundland profits and left a fortune of £38 million when he passed away, The Sun reported. Ludstone Hall dates back to medieval times, but the current property was built in 1607 for the Whitmore family. The estate stayed in the family until 1867 and has only had a handful of owners since. The manor has period features such as mullioned windows, paneled reception hall, stone fireplaces, and the remarkable survival of the original lead rainwater goods. The main house has over 8,000 square feet of accommodation, including 4 reception rooms, 9 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and extensive cellars. A leisure complex at the rear includes the swimming pool with retractable floor, a handmade oak bar, separate dining area, and a hot tub under a raised platform. There is a 2-bedroom gate lodge on the grounds and a number of outbuildings, including a coach house that the Smiths converted to create a museum to the history of both the estate and Poundland. The formal gardens include box hedging, lawns, squash court, the moat, raised terraces, a lake, and an orchard. When Steve turned 18 and wanted to launch a business of his own, his father Keith gave him the idea of starting up a shop where everything was £1. With a £50,000 loan from Keith, the pair co-founded Poundland, with the first shop opening in Burton-upon-Trent, in Staffordshire. Steve, 61, he said, "When my parents came back to the UK, they wanted to find a home where they would never want to move from, and they certainly found that at Ludstone. My mum and dad really loved their time at the estate, which can be seen in the amount of money they invested in the property. It really is the home that Poundland built." One particular investment they made was installing the swimming pool. They wanted to have a big party for the millennium, so had one with a retractable floor installed so that the room could also be used to host events. Living locally myself, I have some really happy memories of their time here. I used to bring Dad the broken sweets we couldn't sell, and he'd feed them to the cows that he kept in the grounds. The cows were sold to a supermarket chain who said that it was the sweetest meat they'd tasted. We'd also hold charity events and open up the museum to visitors and raised thousands of pounds for local good causes over the years. The property holds so much historic significance and has only had a handful of owners since it was built. We're now keen to see the property go to a new family who can make their own memories here. While the Ludstone Hall estate section of the museum will remain at the property, we'll also be donating all of the Poundland memorabilia to Poundland so that they can preserve the history of the company. Ludstone Hall is being sold by estate agents Fisher German.